Think about something for a minute here. Think about the MACD. What is it actually telling us? What do we think it's telling us? And before I go any further and forget, there'll be some code here. I will post the MQ4 and the EX both on AnyVid site, earnforex.com later, and I'll put the link to it in the video description below. What is the MAC actually telling us? Isn't it kind of like reversion to mean, where the 26 becomes the 0 line and the 12 is the histogram kind of oscillating above and below, kind of like reverting to mean and going and reverting to mean like that? It's kind of like reverting to mean. This Trade Chaser and I were talking, maybe more me talking, about the Death Cross and the Golden Cross the other day. And it reminded me of something I wrote a long time ago. And it'll be the next chart you see. The Death Cross, you probably know what it is, but just in case you don't, it's worth reading up on. Hopefully this video will show you this worth reading up on. The Death Cross is, and there's some squabbling over this, the definition. Some people say the 50 crossing the 200. Some people say the 50 crossing the 100. Some people say the SMA. Some people say the EMA. People will squabble about anything. I don't care. I put all three of them on there, and so I figure I got it covered. But this is, if you read up on it, you would see, in a death cross mode, let's just call it that, they feel the prices are falling. When the 50 is below the 100, and the 50 is below the 200. When they cross, they feel that the prices are going to fall. And the golden cross is the opposite. When the 50 crosses above the 100 and the 50 crosses above the 200, or depending on your point of view, the price is golden cross and the prices are going to rise. And it actually does seem to kind of do that. And when they're all jumbled up, nobody knows. So what I did here, I marked the Euro USD daily chart, and I only chose the Euro USD because it's the first one in the list. I marked here with this yellow line. This yellow line will not move. It's going to stay right there on that day. And I marked the MAC crosses. And you can see in the downtrend, when it rises above, it doesn't go very high. That's why we call it whack every rally. It just pops its head up like a gopher and pops back down. Gopher, down, gopher, down, gopher, down. In the opposite, when it pops its head up, it stays up a long time in the golden cross. And, that kind of stands to reason. But in this period of time here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So the thought is that if you sold, the standard thought is when the MAC crosses its signal line or the 0, you sell. If you would have sold those, you could see the trend would have carried you through any hardship. Now, we don't know. The price might go from here and jump up. We don't know. That's why they call it a risky market. All we know is what we can see, so let's just work with that. Now, if you had 4 daily signals, how many 240 signals do you think you would have had in this? And they would have, the trend would have drug you through it. Now, it might have went against you a little bit. They do. Trades go against you. But the trend would have drug you through it. The 60-minute, a whole lot more times the trend would have drug you through it. And the 60-minute, when it was in death cross mode, they would have just barely popped up the same way. So let's drop down to the 240. Now, I don't know that this death cross, golden cross idea is supposed to apply to anything other than the daily. But I applied it to everything. And you'll see that in like I said, the next chart. So see here, death cross on the 240. Same thing. Whack every one of them. Remember the daily chart the daily trend was falling, so it would drag you through. Here, they're all jumbled up. Do what you want. Here, they're falling. Maybe you want to sell. Now, there will be times where, and this is why I said I applied it to all the charts. See, like right here, the 50 rose above the 100. And see how the price is moving up? Just like it did on the daily, didn't it? 50 crossed to 200. Price is moving up just like on the daily. So I don't know if it's supposed to apply to the 240 and the 30 and the 60. I don't know. I applied it to them. I can tell you that. I applied it to them. And the idea was to keep me with in line with the death cross, golden cross on all the time frames. Not necessarily here the 5, 15, 30, you know what that's all about. Not necessarily with the 5 minute or the 15, but at least the 60 maybe and the 240 and the daily, in the, on up. So this is what you're looking at here. If the error is down and it looks like it's offset, it's because there is supposed to be some other things here for like buy sell signals. So if I had a buy signal right here, I might not take it because these were moving down. If I had a sell signal here, I might, because they were moving down. If the errors are down, then it's in the death cross mode. So in other words, the 50 is below the 100 and the 50 is below the 200. If the arrows are lime, well then it's in the golden cross. 50 is above the 100, 50 is above the 200. If there's no errors, well they're all jumbled up, so no one knows. So you can see there's a lot of them, especially on the hour chart. There's no errors. They're all jumbled up. That's kind of common. So my point of all this was to look at my trades. If it's a red asterisk, I'm selling. We can't have opposing trades. So if it's red, it's nothing but sales. If it's lime, it's buys, and nothing but buys. So the idea of all this was I would look at this, I'd say I'm selling, and I would go across, jumbled up, jumbled up, jumbled up, jumbled up, jumbled up, death cross. So I said, okay, well, good. I'm at least with the daily trend. Must be jumbled up. I'm with the monthly trend. Now, there's always going to be some. See, when I'm with it, I don't really care that much. It's when I'm against it that I care. Euro JPY, I'm selling, and I'm in the hole. I'll tell you that right now. Let's go across. Must be jumbled up. No errors. 15-minute, up mode. 30-minute, it's a golden cross, up mode. 240, finally, something helping me out. It's a death cross, down mode. Daily, weekly, both of them up. Now, if nothing else, you've got 4 against you, 1 for you. So I would now I have no idea why I'm short that. I'd have to look. But I would be real critical on, is this a good trade or is it a bad trade? Because if these are going up, you can just about bet that's losing money every hour on the hour. These down here, look at the whole group. These are the GBP pairs. These are the ones you might want to be selling, at least right now. They're all in the downtrend. And keep in mind, the 60 MAC, the 240 MAC, every time you got that 60 MAC sell, if they're all going down, you got a pretty good bit of trend backing you up. And that's all this was. And this, of course, this is nothing more than the daily ATR and the daily ATR that's left, weekly ATR and the weekly ATR that's left. You know what that's all about. But it was nothing more than to try to keep my trades aligned, and mostly to try to minimize my losses. And I think that's enough losses for today.